My name is Teshe. Today we're going to tackle interviewing and interviewing for newbies. I know it can be a very, very daunting task sometimes when you think about the interview process. But of course, there are ways and tricks of the trade that can make it not such a daunting experience. So we will look at some of those tips and tricks today. Stay tuned. Welcome back. All right, so we look at interview tips for persons who are newly or fresh out of school, fresh out of college, and are looking to make their entry into the job space. Now, one of the things that I know sometimes may seem as an hindrance is their lack of experience, right? However, there are certain ways that we can tackle this to ensure that you have a successful first interview. Now, let us look at this in stages. Now, what I always say, the first thing to do in any situation, any interview situation, whether you're a first-time interviewee or you're someone who would have already been in the system and done it a few times, plan and prepare. Preparation is key. Preparation includes everything from your research on the company, your research on the profile or the job that you are interviewing for, as well as the way you present yourself. We're talking not just how you dress, but also your body language, and because everything speaks and everything adds up to your interview experience. Remember, even before you open your mouth, whether or not the interview is virtual or in person, the first thing the interviewer sees is your face or the way you dress. So of course, you are on your interview, come prepared. You need to show that you mean business. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to get extra or spend money that potentially you don't have in buying a fancy suit and so on. However, focus on being clean, well-groomed, and neat and tidy. And of course, you are never fully dressed without your smile. A smile can change the entire tone of an interview. I know you might be nervous, but it is okay to smile. All right, so we would have tackled planning. So first stage, planning. Also, in terms of planning, ensure that when you do your research on the company and you're being asked questions, you do not sound scripted. You want it to come off as natural as possible. So you'll inject some data here and there in your answers, but it cannot be a case where you sound as if you literally were reading off the website of the company. That is not where you want to go. Secondly, prepare. There's some interview questions that they will come up in an interview at whatever stage or at whatever level, and they will come up maybe in varying formats. One of those interview staples is, what is it that makes you the candidate, or what makes you special or sets you apart from the bunch? So prepare. What I suggest is have at least 3 key things that you believe set you apart and connect it to the job that is being asked for. Now, for somebody who is just entering the market, you may not necessarily have the experience. However, if the job asks for certain things like time management or being proactive and those kinds of things, connect it to times in your study, whether it was handling group work, managing a group project, managing some extracurricular activities, or even your schedule, but tie it into how you were able to effectively do those things to get to where you are today, or how you were able to achieve success in your academic life. So, for example, we talk about time management, being proactive, stuff like that. Also, you can show how it is that you function as a part of a team. The long and short of it, the workspace is simply that. It's basically paid group work. That is what I call it. So when you get to work, you now have deliverables that each person has a task that they need to do to ensure that the group work is complete. And that is basically what the work environment is. So the idea is for you to be able to connect the dots there. So please always ensure that you have that in terms of answering the question about tell me about yourself. Next thing, you want to keep your answers as succinct as possible. I suggest you follow the 30 to 45 second rule. Meaning, at no point, unless you're providing a scenario, should you be running on and on and on with an answer, you will lose the interviewer. Unless, of course, it's a story that you're giving and it's interesting and it connects to what is actually happening and it takes a little longer. Focus on the 30 to 45 second rule in answering to ensure that you do not lose the person who you are interviewing with. Now, those are some of the steps for the first time job interview. So we will, a reminder, plan and prepare in your dress, in your understanding of the role, the company, and of course, getting there on time and being ready mentally and dressing with your smile as well. We talk about grooming, talk about the full everything, because everything counts, right? And especially in a competitive job space. We talk about tackling those questions that they always come up. Or a lot of what you'll see nowadays is tell me about a time when, tell me about a time how. So it's important for you to come with your examples, or at least have situations where you can say, okay, this quality was exhibited then, and this is how I was able to achieve X and Y, or this was the outcome. So that is very, very important. Number 3. Yes, we're at number 3. Always ensure that you have even 1 or 2 questions for the persons who are interviewing you. When the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions? Please be prepared with something. It could be something as simply as, what type of work culture do you have? Or what would you consider are the necessary things for success in this role? Go prepared with something, because it's important, because it also shows not only that you're proactive, but you are thinking, right? And you're thinking about, okay, how can I potentially add value if I am given the opportunity of this role? A lot of persons also don't like to talk salary. When you are being asked about salary, I know sometimes it's about fear of maybe asking for too little or asking for too much. I say go in with what it is that you want. Whatever it is that you want, plus 5 or 10%. Meaning you will have an opportunity for the interviewer to maybe negotiate somewhere and land on what it is that you want. Hopefully the HR professionals or whomever you're dealing with, if it is that you ask for way less than what the job pays, they will bring you up to speed or up to par or in line with what the job actually pays. However, do not ever say you don't know or something, because you need to provide the interviewer with something to work with. It also saves them time and saves you time, because if you're totally out of the ballpark, or if you are totally below, you could actually speed up the process and speed up the process of response to you and actually closing out the process. So those 5 tips are what I would consider extremely important for you to consider when you are about to do a first-time interview. Hope these tips help. You can drop me a comment or let me know anything else that you think is important and share the knowledge. Until next time, thank you very much for tuning in, and do not punch your coworker. Thank you.